Hello, welcome to episode number 399 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be ECW for week 3 of August 2023. It is ECW's 4th show and the go-home show for them for SummerSlam. ECW, I think, only has 3 matches on the SummerSlam card. It's got the 2 title matches and then Roman Reigns versus Warden. But, yeah. There's still a lot of stuff going on here tonight. Our main event will see Julia find a tag team partner to face Hikaru Shida and Liv Morgan ahead of Liv and Julia's ECW Women's title match at SummerSlam. And a whole lot more. The Tribal Chief's back. Who knows what he'll have to say. Yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into EC Dub. We kick off with a match, because it's EC Dub, that's the EC Dub way. It's going to be the Grand Jury's Emerson Frost and Ken Kobain taking on Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander in tag team action. And yeah, it is the Grand Jury duo of Emerson and Ken who win, because of course they're the ones, being featured in a storyline right now. So obviously they pick up the win. Ken Kobain pins Cedric Alexander with a House of Cards in 14:55. 75 for Cedric, 87 for Mustafa Ali, 84 for Ken Kobain, and 75 for Emerson Frost. And then yeah, after that match, Damian Priest's going to take to the mic and goes, Dolph Ziggler, last week we put Dolph Ziggler where he belongs, and that's at the bottom of the totem pole. So, if he can even get fully healthy by SummerSlam, then the rest of the Grand Jury that lives on in his honor, will do him proud. The group that he led to as high as he could leave it in WWE is going to go right to the top, and it's going to leave Dolph Ziggler in the dirt. Because there's only going to be one man extreme enough to be the first new ECW World Champion. It's not Dolph Ziggler. It's me, Damian Priest. Simple promo, Priest and Ziggler finally going to go one-on-one at SummerSlam. And it will be for the ECW Championship. We then cut from that. Mackenzie's then backstage with Ruby Riott. And she goes, Ruby, ECW is a new landscape for you. And she goes, I feel a lot at home here. I've heard people like Schatzi say the same thing. And, me and her are a lot alike, except she's, a bit too wild for my tastes. But I'm also, that rebel outcast who sort of fits in here on this new ECW. I never really felt at home on Raw or SmackDown. Apart from, I was teaming with Liv. But of course I had to get rid of that dead weight. And now, this Saturday, she's going to prove that she was the deadweight when she doesn't become the ECW Women's Champion. But I'm going to go to SummerSlam and I'm going to win that Hana Kimura Memorial Battle Royal. Because I am that extreme and I'm going to prove that I should be the face of the women's division here on ECW. That's when Julia walks in. And she goes, face of ECW? No. But you hate Liv. So how about tonight, we team to make sure Liv doesn't make it to SummerSlam. And if I win the championship, I'll give you the first shot. And Ruby goes, I would love nothing more than to embarrass Liv Morgan once again ahead of her biggest match of her career at SummerSlam. You're on. I'll be your partner tonight. So there we go, Julia and Ruby Riott teaming up to face Liv for Battle and the main event here on ECW. 79. RVD was exhausted by the end of this, but good old Carrion carried him to a banger regardless. It actually was a banger, because it was actually higher rated than both their individual performances. But, in 15 minutes and 8 seconds, good old Carrion Cross, nothing personal kid, does get his win back over RVD. He cheats to do it, but he gets it done nonetheless. Probably some sort of, foreign object or something, I know it's ECW, but we don't want to make everything no DQ, because I think that just gets silly. So, we're going to be a little bit looser with the rules, but, they're still cheating. Heels can still cheat to win. Carrion gets a 75 and a 64 for RVD. And he goes, hey, that's it. You wouldn't have survived in the real ECW if I was around, kid. At the time we fought all those ECW extremists were the peak of badass. But there's a new badass monster in town, kid. And nobody's safe. I needs to put a little smarter. You need shorter matches. Okay, yes, my bad, but it still did good. So, we cut back to the Hurt Business. They're in the Raw Underground room training again, fighting. Bobby Lashley's beating up goons. Damon Kemp's beating up goons. Ronnie Hughes is there. Probably looking all like MVP. Not MVP as in Montez Montavious Paul. MVP as in, the MVP. With like gold watch, suit and shirt and all that. MVP's in the rain here. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, shut your dumb ass up and listen for a second. Because the Hurt Business are undefeated since coming here to ECW. And last week, Bobby Lashley put down his foe 2 weeks ago. Damon Kemp and Ronnie Hughes put down their foes, and there seems to be no end in sight for the path of dominance that is the Hurt Business here on the land of ECW. Now you see here, the almighty Bobby Lashley is actually a former ECW champion, twice might I add. So Ziggler, Priest, whichever one of you leave SummerSlam as the ECW World Champion, better watch your back. Because the almighty Bobby Lashley's coming for you. And when he wins that Antonio Inoki Battle Royal, a wrestler prime for Inokiism, might I add, in the almighty Bobby Lashley, then he's coming for that gold next. Yeah, just obvious blanket statement by MVP calling out whoever wins the ECW title that Lashley wants their belt coming out of SummerSlam. We then see Karrion Kross in the hallway. He palms off Mackenzie for an interview and he just goes, "Get out of my face, kid. I'm celebrating a win here tonight. Man, I prove to the world that I'm the most extreme man here on ECW." Then he sort of slows down and him and Zion Quinn bump into each other. And he's like, "Good day, mate. You must be this Karrion Kross that I've heard so much about." And Karrion goes, "Who's asking?" He goes, "Well, you see, I'm sure you're probably for the first time in your career a bit flabbergasted that there's a bigger alpha male on this show than you, okay? But I like the cut of your jib, kid. You could be molded into a true alpha. I see a lot of myself in you. You could become an alpha just like me. But right now, you're a long ways off." And he walks off and Karrion goes, "What's that supposed to mean, kid? Huh? You just got here. Do you not know who runs this show? Not you and your stupid sunglasses, kid. Huh? Not the Big X, no. Deadly K. Nothing personal, kid." Just felt like a natural interaction that had to happen backstage between these two. I don't even know if it's going to go any further than that. I just felt like they had to interact on screen at some point. Our resident Andrew Tate and our resident Cold Steel, they very much feel like two sides of the same coin, basically. The same but different, 68, that's actually pretty good. Goes 10:43, Schatzi defeats Saya Kamatani Fright Night. Schatzi, of course, her first debut with the new hair. She reveals the hair, she has her entrance, she's on the tank with her hood up, gets to the ring, takes the hood down, and she's got the new Schatzi short hair. And she does beat Sire in 10:43. 69 for Schatzi, 39 for Sire, and then after the match, Schatzi's laughing, she grabs a mic, and she's got a razor in her hand, she goes, "Blair Davenport, you think that you're more extreme? Huh? Well, look at what I can do." And she turns the razor on and then turns it off and on again and all that. Maybe even if she's willing, because I think it would look sick, as in disgusting, not cool, is turn the razor on and put her tongue on it or some shit like that. But Schatzi clearly, after Blair Davenport, after, their backstage interaction they had last week. We then see Mackenzie Mitchell in the press booth with Cesaro. And she goes, "Cesaro, SummerSlam just a couple of days away, and as a man who, rose to fame here in WWE by winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, we've got this Antonio Inoki Memorial Battle Royal coming up at SummerSlam." And Cesaro goes, "Mackenzie, I'm going to make history, in the Tokyo Dome, a building I've wanted to compete in for many years. And sure, while Brian, may have taken issue with me coming over here and taking this opportunity that was great for my career, his career is doing quite well because he's got a match he's wanted his whole career coming up this Saturday night. As for me, I've got my eyes on history too. I'm going to be the first and only man to win both the Andre the Giant and Antonio Inoki Memorial Battle Royals. And 29 other men from all walks of life, none of them are going to stand in my way. 46. We get Zion Quinn's debut against Javier Bernal. Goes 2 minutes and 2 seconds. He does obviously win. But I want to take some time to break down the match. Because he comes out, flash Lamborghini, suit, sunglasses. But then when the bell rings, he is still very vicious. Javier Bernal, he walks up because, yo, I want to join. I want to join, bruh. And then Zion goes, well, show me what you've got. And he smacks him as hard as he can. To the point where the assaults are getting uncomfortable. And then he puts him down with his finisher, which I haven't decided an actual finisher for him yet. Because I think actual Zion Quinn used a running forearm smash. And I'm not sure if I want to actually run with that as his finisher, because it might be too similar to Carrion's Nothing Personnel. Which I know is to the back of the head. Carrion's is a shit hidden blade. And Zion Quinn's is a John Cena forearm smash. Anyway, I'm rambling. He does attack. It only goes 2 minutes, but he does take his time picking apart Javi, doing some sick, disgusting things, and while taunting to the crowd and telling him this is how you get to be like him. This is how you get to be like the Big X. After the match, though, Javi gets to his feet as Zion walks out, and he goes, "Big X, teach me how to be like you." And then Zion Quinn just turns around, he chuckles and walks out. And then Javi goes, "No, I'm not leaving this ring until, a real alpha male teaches me how to be like him." Out comes Warden. And he storms to the ring. He powerbombs Javi. He powerbombs Javi one more time. He hits 5 powerbombs on Javi before just tossing him out of the ring. And he grabs the mic and he goes, "Tribal Chief, get your bitch ass out here right now." Out come the Bloodline, Heyman, the Usos, and Roman, of course. And Roman orders Heyman to give him a mic. Heyman hands in the mic. And he goes, "Los Angeles, California, acknowledge me." So, SummerSlam, it's in a couple of days, and the Tribal Chief, he's not really in one of the main events. This year is an easy coasting year for the Tribal Chief. Because instead of having to defend a world championship like you have to do time and time again, I've got to fight Warden. Now, kid, Paul, the wise man, he's told me a lot about you. Hell, I remember a couple of months ago, the reason why you weren't on Raw is because the wise man, you were one of the first people he recruited to join ECW. But you should have known what you were getting in store for, because you joined the Tribal Chief's show. Now, some people like you may think that they can waltz on in here onto the Tribal Chief show, powerbomb the Tribal Chief, beat him, and take his spot at the top of the show, but that ain't how it works around here, Roos. You don't just beat the Tribal Chief. Now, I know you beat Brock Lesnar. That's no easy feat. Beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, no less. Hell, I couldn't even beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But you know what I have done? I've beaten Brock Lesnar time and time and time again after that. You, Warden, got lucky. You're a one-trick pony. And then the Usos, imagine, he chuckles at Roman. And he goes, no, I'm serious. You come out here. You powerbomb a guy. You powerbomb another guy. You powerbomb the first guy again. You powerbomb the second guy again. And these fans, they eat it up. These fans, they eat up. They chant one more time. Well, guess what? You ain't ever gonna powerbomb the Tribal Chief. Now, this is your last chance to back out, kid. Because while you may have beaten a beast, I ain't no normal beast. I'm a god. I'm on guard mode like I've never been on guard mode before, and I've had 3 months on the sidelines, stewing, wondering what's next. I'll tell you exactly what's next. What's next is I smash the first obstacle in my path, which you volunteered to be, and then I claim my spot at the top of my show and take that ECW championship. And then Warden takes the mic and he goes, Roman, it's, quite funny that a known sellout carny in Paul Heyman is by your side as you say these words, because when the ECW was coming back as a third brand, it was for guys like me, new blood, to rise to the top. It was for guys like Dolph Ziggler to finally get their long just dues. It was for all worldwide talent to come here and do what we do best, and that's kick ass in this ring. Yet you've taken up, 15 minutes of this show for your family drama that we thought we'd left behind when you lost at Judgment Day. And I'm here for the sake of this show and this carny promotion that Paul Heyman's made by giving you the top spot because of what? Some bloodline, family-related link? When I powerbomb you not once, not twice, but 3 times or more at SummerSlam, and I put you down, foot on your chest, 1, 2, 3, and the Tribal Chief's aura is erased, we can then get back to what this is supposed to be about. And that's not Roman Reigns, that's not the Usos, that's not the Bloodline. That's being E-C fucking W. And then Roman just laughs. He goes to leave and he orders the Usos to super kick Warden. And then he catches Jay's kick. Him and Jay just stare at each other's face, and then Jimmy super kicks him while he's staring at Jay. And then he bounces off the ropes, double super kick. And they hit the 1D on Warden. And he goes, get him up. Ooh, ah. And the Usos hold him in place. And then let go as Roman spears him. And the Bloodline stand tall, heading into SummerSlam. Then get a quick promo from Blair. She's not in the press box. She's at an off location somewhere. She's like, Schatzi, come on. You thought I was going to be scared of you because you've got a razor? Because you're stupid enough to, nearly cut your tongue out for what? Who are you trying to impress? Not me. Okay? Tell you what does impress me, your guts. Because you've seen me stick knees in the side of every woman's head who's dared step to me since I arrived here on ECW. And apparently you want some of that as well. Well, I'll tell you, you know where to find me this weekend. Shots. I'll be in Tokyo. I'll be in that Hana Kimura Battle Royal. And I'll win it. Which would include you, should you dare show up. See you this weekend. If you're really extreme. Oh my god, that's Shida, okay. I mean, no, not oh my god, that's Shida, but, thank god it wasn't Liv or Julia, basically. I assume this match got dinged because of the injury. Yes. Shida got a stomach infection while wrestling in this main event, and that dinged the match rating. Liv for Battle do beat Julia and Ruby, though, in 20 minutes and 2 seconds. A big, long main event, and I've just been hit by a moth. 20 minutes and 2 seconds. Liv pins Ruby with the Oblivion. 85 for Shida, 75 for Liv, 78 for Ruby, and a 91 for Julia. And that ends the final episode of ECW when we go off the air with Julia and Liv face to face, staring each other down, probably speaking off mic and shit. One of these women will be the inaugural ECW Women's Champion. At least, I don't know my ECW lore that well. I don't know if there was an original ECW Women's title, but at least first ever WWE ECW Women's Champion. That finishes the show. That finishes ECW's last show before SummerSlam. Gets an 85. Pretty good considering the main event didn't do as good as it should have because, Shida got a stomach infection while wrestling. As much sense as that makes. What matters more is what you thought of the show, so do let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for SummerSlam SmackDown, aka the 400 episode special of the TEW 288 Challenge Run. See you then.